As we eagerly await the release of the highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6, let's take a look back at all the games that led up to it. Grand Theft Auto has become one of the most iconic and successful video game franchises of all time. Each installment brought new stories, characters, and gameplay elements that kept players coming back for more. First up is the original Grand Theft Auto, the game that started it all, was first released in 1997. It was a game-changer for the industry, introducing the concept of an open-world, sandbox-style game that allowed players to explore a city filled with crime and corruption. In this game, players could do everything from stealing cars, committing crimes, and running from the police. It was an exciting and immersive experience that set the stage for the rest of the series. Grand Theft Auto, London. 1969 and 1961 were unique expansion packs to the original Grand Theft Auto game. They introduced players to a new time period and location, while still retaining the core gameplay mechanics of the original game. The 1969 version featured new cars, weapons, and missions set in the swinging 60s, while the 1961 version offered a new storyline and even more content. These expansion packs were well received by fans and helped to establish the series as a franchise with the potential for vast and varied open-world environments. Grand Theft Auto 2, which was released in 1999, built on the success of its predecessor by adding new layers of depth and complexity to the gameplay. With improved graphics and enhanced gameplay mechanics, players were able to enjoy a much more immersive experience. The game's missions were more diverse and included a variety of tasks, from simple carjacking to complex bank heists. In addition, the game introduced a new respect system that allowed players to earn respect from different criminal organizations, which impacted the way the game's story unfolded. Overall, Grand Theft Auto 2 was a significant step forward for the franchise, paving the way for even more ambitious and successful games in the future. In 2001, Grand Theft Auto 3 revolutionized the series with its fully realized 3D open world, which allowed players to interact with the environment in a way that felt more immersive than ever before. The game was praised for its innovative gameplay mechanics and cinematic storytelling, with a focus on characters and their interactions. It also introduced the series' now iconic wanted level system, where players would attract more police attention with the severity of their crimes. GTA 3 set a new standard for open-world games and cemented the franchise's place in gaming history. Released in 2002, Grand Theft Auto Vice City quickly became a fan favorite with its iconic soundtrack and unique setting. The game transported players to a neon-soaked 1980s Miami-inspired environment, introducing new features like motorcycles and helicopters. But it wasn't just the atmosphere that drew players in. Vice City featured an immersive storyline with memorable characters. Players took on the role of Tommy Vercetti, a former mobster who gets caught up in a drug deal gone wrong. The game also introduced new gameplay features such as purchasing property, which unlocked new missions and generated income. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was a massive leap forward for the series when it was released in 2004. The game's map was several times larger than that of its predecessors, featuring not only sprawling cities, but also vast countryside and small towns. The game's protagonist, Carl Johnson, returns to his hometown of Los Santos, a fictionalized version of Los Angeles, to investigate the murder of his mother. Along the way, players navigate the complicated politics of gang warfare in Los Santos and its neighboring cities. The game's sheer scale allowed for even more gameplay options, including customizable character stats that could be upgraded through various activities like running, swimming, and biking. The game also introduced new vehicles, such as bicycles and planes, as well as a greater emphasis on social activities, like dating and working out. With its compelling storyline, engaging characters, and unparalleled level of detail, GTA San Andreas was a huge hit. Grand Theft Auto Advance, released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, was a unique addition to the series. The game retained the top-down perspective of earlier GTA games, but featured an entirely new storyline and missions. While the graphics and gameplay were simplified for the handheld console, the game still offered an immersive experience for players on the go. Released in 2005 for the PSP, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories was set in the same city as Grand Theft Auto 3, but the events took place 3 years earlier. The game followed the story of Tony Cipriani, a former member of the Leone crime family, as he navigates the criminal underworld of Liberty City. With improved graphics and gameplay mechanics, the game was well received and became one of the top-selling titles for the PSP. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories was a 2006 PSP game that brought players back to the iconic 1980s Miami-inspired setting of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This time, players took on the role of Victor Vance, a soldier who is dishonorably discharged and forced to turn to a life of crime in order to support his family. The game featured new characters, missions, and gameplay mechanics, including the ability to swim and fly helicopters. Despite some criticisms of its repetitive missions, the game was well received by critics and fans alike. Grand Theft Auto 4 was a highly anticipated release in 2008. The game marked a significant shift for the franchise, with more realistic graphics and a more serious tone compared to its predecessors. It was the first game in the series to feature a fully realized online multiplayer mode, which added to the game's longevity and replayability. The game also introduced a new protagonist, Niko Bellic, a war veteran from Eastern Europe who comes to Liberty City to start a new life, but ends up getting caught up in the criminal underworld. With its engaging storyline, immersive open world, and innovative multiplayer mode, GTA 4 was a critical and commercial success, earning widespread praise and numerous awards. In 2009, 2 DLC expansions were released for Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and the Damned, which focused on a biker gang, and The Ballad of Gay Tony, which explored the nightlife scene in Liberty City. Both expansions introduced new missions and vehicles to the game. In 2009, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars was released for the Nintendo DS and later for PSP and iOS. The game was a departure from the 3D open-world format of recent titles, and instead utilized a top-down perspective reminiscent of the original games. Despite this change, Chinatown Wars received critical acclaim for its innovative use of the touchscreen and minigames, as well as a new storyline and new missions set in the fictional Liberty City. The game also introduced drug dealing as a gameplay mechanic, allowing players to buy and sell various narcotics for profit. Finally comes Grand Theft Auto 5, released in 2013, and quickly became a groundbreaking achievement in gaming. With a massive open world, intricate storytelling, and seamless online multiplayer mode, the game set new standards in game design. Players could switch between 3 distinct protagonists, each with their own personalities and backstories, adding a whole new level of depth and immersion. The sprawling city of Los Santos was meticulously crafted with incredible attention to detail, and the game's innovative heist missions offered a level of player choice and strategy that was unparalleled in the genre. From high-speed car chases to thrilling aerial stunts, GTA 5 offered a vast array of activities and became an instant classic that set a new standard for open-world gaming. And there you have it, a complete list of all the Grand Theft Auto games ever released. Each game in the GTA series has been a unique experience, offering players a chance to explore new cities and stories, while pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the open-world genre. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.